Americans rely on energy for daily needs such as heating and transportation. Government energy policy directly affects consumers and the environment.
So I drive 76 miles every day if you count in the spring when I go from my house to TJ to practice and then back home. I fill up my gas tank, I think, every 2 days or 2.5 days, and my gas tank takes about 13 gallons of gas, so it's pretty expensive. It's a lot of driving.
Energy policy affects environmental and economic policy. So, to what extent should the government be involved in regulating energy? Democrats favor larger government with more regulations and more government involvement in alternative energy.
We have doubled our use of renewable energy, and thousands of Americans have jobs today building wind turbines and long-lasting batteries. In the last year alone, we cut oil imports by 1 million barrels a day, more than any administration in recent history.
Republicans believe that the government should play a smaller role and should impose fewer regulations. Instead, energy policy should be driven by the private sector. Party members of the Republican National Convention discussed the issue.
EPA fines and highest standards that they had for the environment.
The proof of whether a strategy is working or not is what the price is that you're paying at the pump.
I always just thought it was even, John is pretty much right, though. You can't fail, but here's the
Republicans and Democrats do not agree on the amount of government regulation necessary in energy policy. According to the Democratic platform, historic investments in clean energy technologies have helped double the electricity we get from wind and solar.
We'll go twice as far on a gallon of gas.
The Republican platform states that experience has shown that in caring for the land and water, private ownership has been our best guarantee of conscientious stewardship, while the worst instances of environmental degradation have occurred under government control. A senator explains the Republican viewpoint.
Incredible investment to our state.
Current events have reignited the issue. On April 20th, 2010,
we should apply the same standards to everybody who wants to drill in the Gulf or elsewhere. If they meet those rigorous standards, fine, including BP. If they don't meet those rigorous standards, anyone who doesn't meet them should be shut down and disallowed from that activity.
But whatever, I think it's fine. This is called authenticity. Or we can get
One way to be less reliant on oil is to develop more cars that use alternative energy. Ting Day, a recent car buyer, shares his experiences shopping for a hybrid car. Adam Saminsky, the director of the Energy Information Administration, weighs in.
Spending some money on that, both directly through research and development activities at federal labs and elsewhere, along with things like tax credits, is a way to spur the application of new technologies in these areas with the hope that the costs will eventually come down and be very competitive with existing fuels. Costs, according to EIA's data, have actually been creeping up a little bit, but with the latest generation technology, I think that even the cost of wind power will be coming down.
More improvements must be made for hybrid cars to replace traditional vehicles.
I like to see the one is, although there's some kind of SUVs which has the hybrid option, but it's pretty expensive. So I want to see more options in the SUV type.
During his second term, Obama will be dealing with many issues, among which must be the country's energy policy. This is an ongoing issue that directly impacts everyday Americans. In order to grow the economy and protect the environment, America needs a clear and effective policy.